Hello.
Hello. Hey, Muns.
How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Oh, this is a little bit longer than I thought it was. Hey, what are you up to?
I'm feeling good today.
Uh-huh.
I've got a bit of a day off after this,
Hello.
which I'm stoked about.
Hello.
I haven't had one of them in a little while.
Is that right?
Yeah. What have you been doing?
I had a wedding on the weekend.
Yeah.
Wedding season's back on. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a wedding coming up too.
Yeah. I had 4 in April that all got cancelled. And I had 4 suits that I went out and bought.
Oh, did you?
Finally got to wear one.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you look good in a suit. I think you should start wearing suits more often.
Well, after 6 years of high school and having to wear those fucking blazers and stupid ties and...
Fair.
Oi.
I get it.
Scott's College summer school uniform, the olive green thing.
Oh, yeah.
The olive green shorts with the high socks and the olive green long, oh, girl.
They were just asking you to be teased and tormented your entire childhood.
I don't understand.
And the blazer that you had to wear with it as well.
I don't understand boaters.
Why does
in high schools in 2020?
What's a boater?
The little hats that they wear at knocks and shit.
Piss off! Those are
what
dumb.
What is this all about?
I used to have to wear one when I went to Vinnie's, and you'd have to wear it.
You guys had a hat.
You had to wear it to and from school. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And then school teachers would go on undercover missions on public transport.
What is up with that?
And then they'd spring you being like, fellas, your ties aren't done up. Where aren't your top buttons done up? Hey, bro, just sat at school for 7 hours and listened to your self-entitled ass waffle on about nothing to do with the subject we were in.
Totally.
Don't need your after-school directives.
The after school special.
When you leave work, when a banker leaves work, when, someone who works in, I imagine, a building in the city where they wear suits more often than not, when he gets on the train or when he exits the building and loosens his tie and top button, there is no one telling him, no, you are a representative of Suncorp, and you're supposed to have your uniform and attire correctly on all the time outside of work hours. Hey, bro.
Okay.
Fuck off. You know what? Can
I just say something?
You go.
I've never seen anyone leave the office and loosen their tie though.
Oh, come on.
Nah, it doesn't happen.
When was the last time you were in an office, mate?
I've never seen you. Good point. I'm in the city a lot. I Uber drive people to work.
Yes. Whilst you may rock a power suit.
I rock a power suit.
Can rock a power suit.
Most of the time I don't wear a shirt underneath it though, so I don't really have the issue of unbuttoning and buttoning up. Can I just say, back to the school thing, I was on the train for the first... You're so bummed that I've derailed your line of thought just then.
No, you haven't. I just wanted to keep going, but you go. I'm letting you have some time now.
I was on a train for the first time in forever, and I saw these 2 kids coming home from school, and it was gross. Just the way they were talking, the way they were sitting, their uniform everywhere, and it made me look at them and go, oh, was that me? I kind of get it now.
No, because you would have been in trouble if that was you.
Yeah, true. But I get why they have that, to and from school. You're wearing the school uniform, so you're a representative of the school. I kind of get it now that I'm an adult.
It sounds like the rules may have been loosened a little. Okay,
these girls were foul-mouthed and just looked like they had...
That's different from having your top button undone and your tie slightly down.
But they were wearing the uniform.
Yeah, but talking foul-mouthedly at the top of your lungs with your bags everywhere is not what I'm talking about. Anyway, the other thing that used to annoy me when another teacher, I don't know if this happens at just private schools. Oh, it's bullshit. Another teacher would say, walk into the room, announce himself, and then you would have to stand up to show him respect. But gentlemen, stand up. Another teacher has walked into the room. All right, I'll just stop my studying that my parents are paying $14,000 million for a year to just stand up for this guy to walk in.
It's a bit of a power trip,
It's such a power trip. And then it'd be and then he'd come in and just be like, oh, how was the weekend, eh? I didn't leave till 9 a.m. And you're like,
And
why did
9
I
pints.
stand for this? Why did I get up for this conversation? Anyway, private schools, absolute joke.
I never went to a private school. Wait,
did.
I ran. No, I
Went
didn't.
to Vinnie's, mate.
Oh, well, for like
just told
2
us that.
seconds. Yeah, for
Anyway,
1 year.
you told us about the hats. All right, you had an experience there.
Yeah, well, that was 1 year of my life. I'll never get back. But I did have one of my proudest memories is about 4 years after high school, I ran into one of my teachers at Lady Hampshire, which used to be a music venue in like Marrickville or something like that, Camperdown. And I was like, Scott, what's up? And he's like, what the hell is up, my dude? Let's hang. And he bought me a beer. And I was like, this is so good. I now need all of my ex-high school teachers. I want to see them out at a bar and I want them to buy me a beer.
Have you got like a list of them all on the wall and you're just crossing them off?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're just people.
Remember my acting teacher? We ran into him the other night. He bought me a beer. Actually, he was like, "I'll buy you a beer," and I wanted to be polite and be like, "No, it's cool. I'll get it." He goes, "Oh," but then I couldn't buy my ex-student a beer, and I was like, "Well, now that you've said that, I want to be able to say that. So you're going to buy me a beer now."
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've bumped into the odd teacher, but that would have been a long time ago because it's been a while since school. And I'm just wondering. I don't think I've ticked that one off in a while.
You never ran into a school teacher outside of school?
Probably. Just not in the drinking capacity. I can't
Right.
remember. But that's not to say that those stories haven't occurred. I just had a quick flashback to some fond memories actually after school of going to the Eastern every Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my buddy Stefan and Oscar Zerbst.
Did Stefan tell you he was in my Uber car the other day?
Yeah, only I messaged him the other day and he's pregnant. Well, he's not pregnant. He's one partner.
I haven't seen Stefan in like 10 years. He was your friend.
I bumped into he was my best friend in school. I bumped into his sister 2 years ago and he bumped into you. That's so funny.
He got in, he was an Uber passenger in my car and he was like, "Are you Kyra's little sister?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, "Fuck, yeah, I do."
That's so funny.
Yeah, so you used to go to the Eastern with Stefan?
We went, Stefan and Oscar, and I remember we went something like 38 Wednesdays in a row.
Whoa.
It was like...
You did go every Wednesday.
It was like a mission statement at that point in the eastern suburbs to just go to the Wednesday Eastern every night. $3 drinks.
We don't
from
have...
6 till 9.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that for a happy hour. $30 buys you 10
gasoline
drinks. Hey, that actually makes me realise the other day how we managed as younger kids to get through so many nights of partying and drinking. Because
it wasn't as
$3
expensive.
drinks. It wasn't as expensive.
Yeah. Now you got to spend $20 on like
an Uber to the next venue, which is 45 k's away.
There's also there's nothing like that in the eastern suburbs anymore in Sydney, like the eastern.
So just before COVID hit, the lockout laws actually were scaled back dramatically. They were
well and truly pretty much abolished. I remember walking into the townie in Newtown at 4 a.m. in the morning being like, I wish the lockout law still existed because I need someone to tell me when to go home. It's 4 a.m. and I'm at the fucking townie. I'm like, what more could I possibly get from this night?
Yeah. Look, yes, there is. Yep, you're going to have to find that self-discipline to take yourself home. Or hopefully you have a really good group of friends that know how to put you home in a cab. Hey, yeah, no, but... So I just wonder, do you reckon, psychologically speaking, that 5-year period or 4-year period there that maybe the curtailed the influence of people going out and sort of retrained the system a little bit into being a little bit more like staying at home as opposed to having opportunities to go out. E.g., if you lived in Melbourne, you could go out whenever you wanted. Sydney got very limited at some points.
It was limited and because of the lockdown. Yeah,
and a lot of things shut down. We won't go too deeply into it, but what I'm talking about is post this COVID thing, do you think people will be so excited to go party again? Or do you think due to the actual kind of almost dumbing down of society and this COVID thing where people are now more concerned to go out because of maybe a cluster outbreak. What do you think? How do you see it all panning out? Like,
I personally think that I have like my hygiene OCD, which I pretty much already had prior to COVID, is definitely worse. Like, the idea of touching or like seeing someone cough, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the other way, elbow, God damn it. But I think that I'm one of very few people who will actually like walk away feeling affected by the lack of touch and feel and that line of communication with people. But I think that everyone's just fucking so keen to get on a dance floor. Right. Everyone I speak to at the end of the day, they're just like, I just want to get sweaty. And I'm like, oh, I couldn't think of anything worse. But then again, I mean, like, we've been artists and been playing for so long. It's like, really, when we go and play a gig, how often are we actually in the crowd? We're pretty much just backstage hanging out. You know what I mean? Like,
that sounds so bad. Yeah.
It does sound a bit bad, but
no, you transition at some point from being, it's not always. I get what you're saying. You don't want to be necessarily in the crowd getting sweaty before you're about to get up there and get sweaty, but maybe afterwards you can.
Yeah, you can party after.
Yeah. But
I think people will just crave going out and dancing and touching each other. Honestly, just like how like live music is thriving right now because people just want to go and watch it and do something.
So do you feel like maybe the deprived nature of it will kickstart it in 100%. Moving forward? Yeah?
As soon as there's a D floor, there will be a line for that dance floor.
Because out of curiosity, what is the point in life if you don't really have an opportunity to burn off some steam from the hard work you've done? So let me pose this a different way to you. If you worked a 9 to 5, go with me, capture the imagination. If you worked that 9 to 5 or let's say an 8 till 6, what would your idea of a weekend be if that aspect of nightclubbing didn't exist?
Polo shirts and boat shoes.
So have you been waiting for someone to ask you this question for like 10 years and someone finally did and you were like, I can flex this answer? Polo shirts and boat shoes. So, sorry,
people just don't. When people have to, this goes back to the suit thing. When people have to wear a suit to work every day, they don't know what to wear on the weekend.
That's true.
They're lost.
That's true.
They're so
no
lost.
Sense of style.
It's a polo shirt and a boat shoe.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do they do?
I reckon those two kind of things live hand in hand, though.
Yeah.
The idea of the boating life and the work life.
That's true. Maybe.
I
don't know. I haven't had a 9 to 5, so I wouldn't know.
That marries quite well.
Also, don't have a boat license.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do they do after how do they blow off steam?
How would you imagine that they would blow off steam? Like, okay, I'm talking about like the pub isn't a thing, so the club isn't the thing.
Oh, what is the hypothetical?
The hypothetical is imagine if that never existed. What is now the thing that, or that disappears right now? It's gone. Gladys says, nah, to all of it. Bye. Bye. What is your now thing that you think you would do to blow off steam on the weekends and that you would look forward to on the weekends to doing?
I mean, it would have to be some sort of activity. I feel like people would get into spearfishing a lot.
Polo shirts,
you're thinking,
boat shoes,
sorry, you want like fun. Okay, fun.
Well, it's not that wasn't fun. I'm just
intrigued. I don't know, anything like dinner party. I mean, the things that we've been doing for the last fucking 6 months. Dinner parties and like swimming and that's it.
That sounds pretty boring to me.
I
mean, there's
it really depends on who you're doing it with.
Well, no, I think there's a 50-50 split, actually. That is amazing when you've got the other. But if that was the only thing...
Golf! It's golf. That's what they're sorry,
Shut up, Cairo. I've worked it out. It's golf. Next subject.
Everyone who works 9 to 5 plays golf on the weekend. Yeah. That shit was not affected during lockdown.
Well, it was to a degree, but for some reason
it really wasn't.
Most missed thing in Victoria and other places.
Oh yeah, true.
Hard lockdowns. Yeah, funny one, isn't that? I find golf fascinating.
Golf.
Because Here's just purely on the fact that we put so much effort into maintaining a certain dynamic of grass, but on the street or curb next to the golf course, the grass is dead.
Yeah.
Like in the streets surrounding the golf course, everything's dead.
Well, they're not making money off that.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I get that, but
it's just a bit funny, don't you reckon?
I do. I think it's silly. I also find
love putt-putt. That doesn't take up a large volume of space.
I'm actually really good at putt-putt, and I didn't realize until I started playing.
Actually, you would be good at putt-putt.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I was just getting them hole-in-ones.
Yeah,
bang, bang.
because you don't have to hit it as hard, and you've got a sore back all the time. So it's kind of like just a...
What? How did your mind get there? Sorry.
Simpsons ruined putt-putt a little bit for me because some of the courses that they had on there was so elaborately amazing that when you actually went to the local putt-putt, you were like, oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm always a little bit disappointed in the putt-putt because it's the best one I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Is in Chimney Rock in North Carolina.
Oh.
In America. And it was America. And it was right on like this river, and it was like it was like this little cute little town.
Yeah.
That was pretty much populated by no one. And it was like right on the river, and it included the river in the putt-putt course.
I love that.
I was like, that's sick. I'm loving this putt-putt course.
That's great.
Yeah.
It needs to be...
And I got some pumpkin pie after it.
Oh, pumpkin pie. Yeah. Hey, I reckon they could have putt-putt in the Olympics. Think of all the boring shit they have in the Olympics. If they made an epic or extreme sports, let's do extreme putt-putt. I want to see dudes on razor scooters with golf clubs. Kind of like a street version of polo. So instead of riding a horse, you're on a razor scooter. And you have a golf club.
Yeah.
And you just fucking whacking golf balls around. I think it could be dangerous. So you're more going for the hole.
I'm about it.
Yeah.
My friends are just about to move in together to like a bedroom, an apartment in Bondi.
Okay. And
they're trying to figure out who's going to get the bigger room.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I mean, toss a coin, wouldn't you? And he goes, and then they came up with Pub Olympics.
Yep.
So they've got to do a round of darts, a round of pool, and a round of trivia.
Yep. At the same pub, I feel there needs to be a crawl in it.
We could fucking make a day of it. I'm pretty sure we will.
You're involved, are you?
I've been elected as adjudicator. What happens if you win?
Do you get the room?
No, I don't get to play. They have to play and we adjudicate it.
That'd be funny if you were a smoky from outside and just won the whole thing and you got to pick both rooms. You pay for my rent now.
Yeah, and I thought that's so funny. I love that.
That's pretty cool. I would have just put a financial split on it and been
it is a financial split. Ooh. And so that's why it's kind of like both of them are like, well, I mean... Well, they're happy to pay, but they're also like happy to not because it just means they save money. So it's like,
win, lose.
Win-lose. It's a win-lose situation. Like you win less rent, but you lose the bigger room. I feel
like they've just come up with a really good way to
get drunk. And a very good excuse to get drunk.
Yeah. See, going back to my little question before, what would we do if that didn't exist? And it sounds like not much.
I don't...
Because with it, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Imagine if pool didn't exist.
I'm not saying that everyone should be drunk all the time, but
what other Olympic game sports should there be? Like, what about like typing words per minute? That should be an Olympic sport.
I like it.
Just for working out my fingers.
Yeah. Fastest rapper. I want to see rapping in the Olympics, like Twister versus Busta Rhymes. I'd tune in for that.
Yep. Okay.
Can I tell you how unimpressed I am by people swimming laps and running around things that they've been running around and swimming for fun? Throw a shark in there. Do something interesting for me. The fact that the best thing about the Olympics is that someone might beat a world record. Don't get me wrong. Incredible. I'm not trying to take away from these people that spend 4 years of their life training for that one thing.
Well, not just 4 years, but yeah.
Even longer.
Their life.
The Olympics is incredible. Good on it. However,
love it.
Could be a bit more exciting. Could have a few more smoky outside sports in there.
Just do like one for you, one for us kind
of thing. Indoor surfing. Give me the indoor surfing waves.
As if that isn't a thing. Is surfing not a part of the Olympics?
I don't know. I don't watch the Olympics enough, but I reckon
it only comes around every 4 years.
The thing is, it would depend on what country you were doing it in as to whether they had that.
I don't think it is. It's not surfing in the Olympics, but that should definitely be a thing, right?
Indoor surfing, all the X Games, all that shit. Get it in there.
Surfing at the 2020 Olympics will make its debut appearance in 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo.
Get it in there.
Shame it got postponed.
Get it in there, Chief.
There you go. So now it's officially a sport.
Yeah. And while we're at it, get boogie boarding in there and body surfing. Far more impressive than swimming in a still pool.
I can't believe that it took it till 2020 to actually for surfing to be part of the Olympics.
Well, again, based on the
who's
geology of it,
surfing in Tokyo? Care. Oh, there must be an indoor pool.
That's what I'm saying. Based on the geology
they're pretty good at engineering over there.
And they love a good engineering session over there in Japan. They can engineer.
They love a brainstorming session as well. They come up with some weird shit.
Don't they just? And it's because of that weird shit that we get all the normal shit. Does that make sense? Without weird shit, you would not know what normal shit is.
You can't enjoy the sweet without the sour.
It's the imperfections in life that make life perfect.
Lovely.
Sorry about that. Probably a bit of a waffle sesh. Cairo.
Pearl.
Catch you next time.
Bye.